Tax Director Dafne Shimizu. We talk about the reopenings, a few bumps in the road yesterday. Daphne, have we ironed out those kinks up at Barragata Heights and again Shopping Center?
Hi, good morning, Chris and Sabrina, and
Good
good morning,
morning.
Lauren.
Good morning.
So yes, yesterday was quite busy, and of course, at least in the first couple hours, we did have some challenges in terms of our lines. Probably around 10 o'clock, we were working, of course, all through the morning with our National Guard and our Guam Police Department. So we were able to get the lines kind of in order, and actually probably by around like a little early afternoon when I went outside, because I had been, walking the lines outside our office, that really we actually had no line by the time probably was like early to mid-afternoon. So, we do have lines this morning again. If you don't mind, can I just share a few things that we have made some changes to? Because, I guess based on, discussions with GPD and the National Guard and after our initial assessment yesterday afternoon. So today we're strictly enforcing kind of a one-way traffic into and out of our building. So you can only come into our building through our front entrance, and you're going to exit on the Conwood side and the back side of our building, kind of closer to Foremost, or as you're heading to Catholic Social Services. So the traffic coming into our building is just that one way. Mm-hmm. And of course we have the National Guard, and I want to just say thank you to Chief Ignacio and of course to Major General Agdi for their support and for the support of their team. They were here yesterday. They were here very early this morning. They're directing traffic out here to make sure that people are safe and that the traffic flows smoothly. We do have a bit of a backup in terms of traffic here. So I know people who are heading toward the mall, if you're coming from Barragata, it is a little bit backed up, but we're doing our best. The right lane, has been or is being utilized, of course, for the people that are coming into our building. But again, we're trying to get people, trying to make sure that it's as orderly as possible. And of course, we have GPD and our National Guard out there along with our team. So that's something that, yesterday we did work to try to get, strictly enforce that, but it was a little bit difficult. So today we made sure that we set up things so that happened. And the other thing that we had done this morning so that our team has the opportunity to set up and make sure that we have our cones set up and all of the lines running out, and was that we didn't open up our parking lot until 7 in the morning. So we do open at 8, and so 7 in the morning was when we began to allow people to come into our parking lot. And that had happened just, again, it's so that we can make sure that we're set up internally. We've actually had people here probably since like 6 in the morning, again, drawing out the lines and putting up the cones.
I saw people bush cutting this morning.
Well, that was probably, I'll share with you, when Mayor June Blas was having the canopies put up, also she had her team bush cutting a little bit as well. So, I do need to also say thank you. One, I always want to thank the media. Without you guys getting our information out, and of course, we have limited budget, so we don't have a whole huge budget to be able to do these things. Without you guys putting out the word, we wouldn't be able to get the message out to our community. Our mayors have been so great. Mayor Blas made sure that she gave us some canopies, and then, we had this little grass area growing, and she made sure that her team, cleaned that up. So we also had the Mayor of Agana Heights, Mayor McDonald, and Mayor Ngakta. They had given us canopies as well. And, because when we were doing some dry runs in the last week and we were walking outside the building, it was extremely hot. And it was like, it's unimaginable to allow our people to be standing outside, in the hot sun. So, we made sure that there are canopies there. But today, definitely the lines are much better. We do have a lot of people in our lines. I just finished walking the line and, making sure that, that everything was going okay. We do have signage up that, of course, indicates that we have 8 to 9:30 is dedicated to our Manamco, our individuals with disabilities, and also our military veterans. And, our team, it was very important to our team to make sure that we dedicated some time to our Manamco and to our people with disabilities and, of course, our veterans, recognizing that, we want to make sure that, there is the potential for a second surge, and to have the opportunity to kind of isolate that population so that they're not, exposed to just the general public as, as we would be throughout the day. So that was very critical for us. But we're doing our best to keep things as orderly as possible.
Yes, sorry, just a couple of things. We had a guy call in and was asking why the left turn traffic light is blocked off, and he was saying that there are other businesses in there besides Rev Tax that people need to go to. And then on the other side of, we're getting a lot of comments about people not answering the phones at Rev Tax. Are you guys just overloaded? Can you give us info on those 2 points?
Sure. So, one on the traffic flow, again, our team was talking with the National Guard, and that's something I'll go ahead and make sure we relay as well. And absolutely, because we do know, I was on the Board of Catholic Social Services for many years, so I know we have Foremost, Catholic Social Services, Conway, and other companies behind us. And also, of course, we have our seniors that live back there. So, of course, to the extent possible, we don't want to impede, those people's businesses, and we'll make sure we address that if it hasn't already been addressed. That's one. And the issue of phone calls, we are doing our best to answer the calls as we can. Of course, we suggest that people do email us if possible. And the other thing that now that our agency is again, we're open up, based on PCOR 2 standards, which is, no more than 50% occupancy is what the standard is we do have people in our branches. So, we're trying as much as possible to have our branches be the ones to assist our customer calling center, so that way we're able to answer questions and answer people's calls. We know that, of course, when we issued out, the 50,000 checks in the last week, we were getting a lot of calls. We're doing our best to get through them. It is challenging, but we're just going to do our best, and we promise you that that's what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm. What is the main transaction that people are conducting right now?
A lot of, I actually just walked the line, and both today and yesterday, a lot of what we're seeing is vehicle registration. Mm-hmm. And, our team actually is walking the line, making sure people know that they can do registration renewals online. They're also walking the line and passing out forms and making sure people are here for vehicle registration. I actually yesterday was able to assist a few people. I had one, senior citizen woman who, she was in line for a while, and she asked me, I think her question was, ma'am, do I need to get in line to do a safety inspection? And she was standing in line for a bit, and I said, no, ma'am. So as soon as I told her that, she has actually left. So, we're trying to, we're going through the line and surveying people, making sure that they're aware of our hours, making sure that they're aware of our services, making sure that they know that they could do things online, and passing out forms. And, of course, to the extent possible, we're doing our best to, to remind people that there are things that can be done online. And I'll share with you, even for those individuals, if you may try to get online and try to register online and you run into an issue, we're doing our best to get back to people, but we have been pushing out, so the registration online system requires that, of course, your safety inspection information and your insurance, your car insurance information are uploaded in our system. As long as those are in the system, you will be able to renew your vehicle registration online. Yeah. For those individuals that have been able to do that, we've actually, like in the other day, we had several hundred that we had mailed out the tags for. So, when you renew online, and I recommend highly that people do renew online, you get an actual PDF version of your registration immediately, and then we send your tags in the mail. So, those are things, again, we recommend. And if you run into problems, I know I've tried the system myself, so I understand the system. But if you run into any issues, if you can email us, again, we have a contact us section on our website. You can email us there, and we do our best to get back to people as soon as we can.
Daph, I had a question. I got a call yesterday about the stimulus and people who are on the Social Security who don't file their taxes. Can you tell us how those people, because there's a lot of people on Social Security, what's the process for them getting the stimulus checks, and is there anything that they need to do or that you guys need to do to get those checks into their hands faster?
That is a great question, and thank you. Of course, our people who are on Social Security and Veterans Disability, those individuals who have those, who have that benefit, if they file already because they have income or they file as joint and they have to report income, those individuals will already be in our system. We did indicate in our FAQ that there would be a need for a Form EIP-NF to be filed for those individuals, not just those Social Security recipients or Veterans Disability recipients, but people who fell below the threshold. I know in the last week, over the weekend, the Social Security Administration did provide some information on, the Social Security recipients being able to receive or receiving EIP payments. I'm actually in communication with the IRS on that issue because, we want to make sure that we provide the information. And I will just share with you, I mean, of course, with regards to this program in general, not just on Guam, but across the nation, there have been so many things that have been changing as we kind of have gone along the way. There were things that were added, that I guess that the IRS had not contemplated that they've had to adjust for as we have gone through the process. So, this one issue, and we thank our Social Security recipients for their patience. I know that's something that our team, we actually had a meeting with our IRS counterparts in this morning. So, which is why I'm going to have to get off very soon. But those are things we're working to clarify. Again, we're trying to get out the best information that we can, and of course, as soon as we can get it. The Social Security recipient information that came out of the Social Security website, this over the weekend regarding Guam and the other territories, that was actually something that I had also shared with our IRS counterparts, and we're going to be discussing that with them so that we can make sure we resolve and we give the right information to our people.
There's something that I've been seeing online, and it's been people have been posting pictures of stimulus checks that they received, but they weren't their checks because it was placed in the wrong mailbox. And then we have a question here that says, if a person didn't receive their check in the mail and supposedly was returned to sender, what can the person do about a returned check?
Oh, so if people, so we recommend it, and again, our team has been letting people know that, of course, we had just started mailing, or Treasurer of Guam had just started mailing or mailed the checks in the last week, so give it a little bit of time. If they don't receive their checks for whatever reason, if they think maybe that, the address they may have used, or they know for sure that they have, moved to another post office box and the address that perhaps was used in the system may not be correct, then they can always call us or email our Guam EIP at revtax.guam.gov. We've been doing our best to get back to them, and we're working on that. We're also working on a system. The IRS has a portal called Get My Payment.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so, and as you know, so I'm a real big kind of I really big on technology and trying to utilize technology to help us to be more efficient. And so, over the last several weeks, we have not only been working on the Form EIPNF to be filed online, which we released over the weekend, we've also been working on testing a system similar to the Get My Payment portal. We're kind of in the last phases of reviewing and making sure that it's working properly, of course, making sure that we have safeguards in place to prevent people from logging in, and there, of course, there's identity theft and other issues we have to address. So, that has been in the works where it's actually already almost ready to deploy. And that's something that I'm personally, and I know our team, our customer service team, is looking forward to. So then people will be able to get online, register, and just check the status of their payment without having to call us. And so, that's something that we'll be working to launch within the next few weeks. We've been working on for several weeks with our IT vendor and internally with our staff to make sure that it works. But as we're working on all these other things, getting the payments out and also getting, reconciliations done with IRS and, still communicating with the IRS on issues and trying to reopen, we are still working to try to figure out how we can enhance our system so we can help our people and make things a lot easier for them. And again, so they don't have to rely on a call, where there are things like that can happen. So that's something that we're working on, Sabrina, and thank you for asking. We've been, again, we're always thinking about, for me, I'm always thinking about how we can be better, how we can provide service better. Our team has been so great in support and, kind of coming up with ideas. And this is something that we even began to talk about even before the IRS launched their web portal. It's just that it's taken a little bit of time, for us to make sure we review. It's something kind of new, and it's something, again, that we're hoping to launch within the next couple of weeks.
Well, that's actually pretty cool because, I had a conversation with my brother over the weekend, and he lives in Vegas, and, we were talking about, hey, did you get your stimulus? And he was like, no, or I didn't. And he said he did, and he was just waiting for my parents, and he went to the IRS website on the Get My Payment, and all you do is you put in your social, your birthday, and your address, and it tells you, the status of where your payment is. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's, we may not exactly mimic exactly the process, but we're definitely going to have a system like that. And it's already like, I would like to say we're over 90% ready. we're just, again, in the testing phase, but I'm excited to launch that. I'm excited every time we're able to utilize technology to help our people and to help not just our people internally, but to help our people in our community, so it's easier for them to get information. So we've been talking about that. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because my brother also, who lives in Las Vegas, those are things that, I've been talking with our family about having to figure out how that things are working stateside. And again, we're trying to look to the IRS on what they do. And it's kind of like trying to benchmark or, look at best practices. And so if you'll notice, like even our EIP&F form is actually it's simulating really what the IRS has done on their website. They have a system of filing the form EIP&F, or it's not, they're not calling it that. We're calling it that, but it's their non-filer form. So we're working to look at what they do, and we're trying as much as possible to kind of imitate that on the local side, and again, always looking to try to figure out how we can be better and how we can, improve our process.
All right. Real quickly, Dropbox still available at DRT?
Absolutely. Our Dropbox is still available, but can I share a little bit about our lines before I get off the line? We have three entrances, or three main. So usually we have just a single entrance into our building. What we've done is we've actually separated. We have three areas where you can, enter or do a filing in our building. Now, at the far left of our building, which is closest to KUAM, the Conwood side, that area, we have a door there where people can come and they can file. It's file only for income taxes, but I'm calling it like a single transaction line. If you're only filing income taxes, not paying, you can go to that line, and we're trying to fast track, of course, the receipt of the income tax forms so that we can continue to process for EIP. In the middle of our building, where our main entrance is, that double door that's glass under the kind of the awning, that door is for vehicle registration, real property taxes, Treasurer of Guam. Also, we have passports, and then there are some branches that have that are by appointment only that also are that entrance. And then at the far right of our building, which is closest to the Barragata Post Office, or where the mobile gas station or subway is, that side of our building, we actually have a double door at the far right corner when you're facing our building, and that's for the entrance for our income tax, our business privilege tax, our GRT, and our collections branch. So we've tried to make it so that we're able to manage the flow in our building better, and we're also so we're doing it kind of by section, and I think that in yesterday it showed, as we kind of got through the day, it was very successful, and today again, we're going to continue to do that. Of course, we recognize that coming into this, it's not a perfect system, and we're trying to adjust as we need to, so that we can improve. And we thank you guys for your questions, and for the public as well for their comments. So, every day, at the end of the day, like yesterday, we met so that we can work to evaluate and do an assessment of where things are and how we might need to adjust so that we can continue to service our people better. And we're going to continue to do that.
Okay.
Thank you, Daphne.
All right. Well, thank you, Sabrina, and thank you, Chris. Again, I'm sorry I have to get off the line because I'm having some meetings, but I want to thank you again for taking the time. And I thank our people. We're going to continue to try to get the information out, so that way everybody knows what's happening. But, again, thank you to our people for being patient, and thank you for all of, our partners, our mayors, and all the other agencies who have been very, very supportive of us. And have a great day, Sabrina.
You too.
Have a great
You
day,
too.
Chris. Okay,
Thank
bye.
you, Daphne. You too. Wash your hands.
Bye.
All right. Love Daphne.
I
Awesome.
know.
She and messaging her to get her on the show, she was just like, man, I just have a few minutes, and I'm like, yeah, just get a few minutes. Come on and do your thing.
She gets a lot of information.
20 minutes
out,
later.
man.
Daphne, I would say, and I think everybody in our chat room right now is a rock star. She gave all of that information. You could tell, she wasn't like thumbing through some manual or going through some SOP on, or downloading some PDF and everything like that. All of the stuff, the double doors, the flow of traffic, hours of operation, all that stuff, all off the top of her head. And
From the
Even
dome.
I just gotta say that
From the
whole
dome.
Get My Payment, how they're going to be implementing that in a couple of weeks. It really is actually really cool. Do you know about the Get My Payment?
yeah,
On the IRS
it's
portal?
really, really cool.
Yeah, so because my brother's like, why don't you go on the IRS website and check it out? I'm like, no, I can't.
Okay, can I just ask you, because I'm kind of keeping tally. Who do you think has said, as you just said, Chris, I've only got a few minutes. I just want to pop on your show. I want to come on Containing COVID, say a few things, and then I'm out because I got a busy rest of the day. Between Dr. Ho Nguyen, Dafne Shimizu or Mary Rhodes. Each of them has like
Well,
Mary
Rhodes
35-minute plus
Yeah.
interviews.
You know, I
Mary
think,
Rhodes' few minutes is like half an hour.
yeah.
It's a show unto itself, but it's good
Right,
stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I like about them. They know their, beep,
Yeah.
they know their stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Important, so key.
mhm.
I almost feel like we need to, when we reach a point where everything with Rev Tax is covered and up and running, maybe we need to detail Dafne over to the Department of Labor.
Or Department of Administration, so
And
we
help-
could get some information. Because that's the thing with the
Yeah.
programmen Sloppy Izuden Itatau.
Uh-huh.
That's
The vice
by
speaker really liked it
DOA.
when you said that, by the way.
Okay.
Pronunciation was on point.
Yeah. Okay, but that's run by the Department of Administration. So we're still,
Right.
people want to know about that program
Yeah.
just as much as they want to know about